Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren, the language nerd here. Hope you're doing very, very well. I want to make a quick little video today talking about how language learning is a very multifaceted kind of skill. You see with languages, right? There are so many different things that we have to know. We have to know grammar, we have to know pronunciation, we have to know new words and vocabulary, we have to know, there's listening aspects, there's speaking elements, there's writing, there's reading. There's so many different aspects and elements of learning a language that it becomes a skill that is very multi-dimensional. And this multi-dimensionality, if that's even a word, is ultimately, at least in my perspective, what causes it to be, what causes some people to find certain elements easy, while other people find the same elements very, very difficult. Let me give you some examples. I, for instance, love pronunciation. I think phonetics and pronunciation is super duper interesting. And quite honestly, it comes relatively natural to me. I think it's not super hard to make my tongue and my mouth and the vocal cords all work together in the right way to pronounce foreign sounds. I can hear the difference, and I have a good ear for noticing that, oh, I'm not saying that the right way. Why is that happening? Let me try and fix it. Or that speaker said it like this, or etc. I have a very good ear for that kind of thing. But on the contrary, when I work with students and I work with people who are trying to improve their accents, and they find it so hard, they think it's so difficult, and they just can't make their mouth do the right thing. Their ears just cannot hear the right sounds, and it requires lots of work and lots of effort and lots of time and patience, and they don't like it. They get frustrated to be able to improve upon their accent and learn the skills that they need to get better in that respect. And there's so many different skills like this left, right, and center when it comes to language learning. We have intellectual skills, such as remembering vocabulary, remembering grammar rules, being able to implement the grammar that we learned, and being able to implement the different words and such that we've learned. We have listening types of skills where we have to be able to hear what someone said and associate a meaning with it, right? We have to or hear what someone said and accurately detect what they said, the words they said, and what they were trying to say. In some languages, such as Mandarin, you have to be able to accurately hear the tones so you know what word the person said. So there's listening tasks. We have even, let's go into a different category altogether. We have social skills. Social skills play a massive factor in language learning. If you, in your mother tongue, find it difficult to create conversation with people, carry conversations, know what to say next when someone says something, keep eye contact with someone, shake their hand, smile. A lot of those, I guess you could say, common sense. They're not really common sense, but let's say what one could consider to be common sense kinds of social skills, if you struggle with those in your mother tongue, well, you're going to find it even more difficult in your in the second language, in the target language that you are trying to learn, and that's going to bleed into why you find it hard to talk, why you find it hard to have conversations, why etc., right? Or like me, I'm not a big dancer, for example. I don't enjoy dancing. It's not really my thing. I'm not super duper comfortable with it, and as a result, when I go into a culture like Latino cultures, when I go to Peru and Chile and different countries, and people want to go salsa dancing, that's a big part of the culture, or they want to go bachata, they want to do that, it affects things, right? It affects the social interactions you have. And so language learning, it's not a one-dimensional, kind of this single directional kind of skill. It's not at all like that. It's something that is so all-encompassing. And I feel like, I don't know the research, but my gut, what I feel like is I wouldn't be surprised if we were to research the brain and how language works. I'm willing to bet that it uses a wide variety of different parts of the brain for different elements of language. To be perfectly honest, when we look at something like grammar, especially in a written format, there's something very mathematical and logical about it. And I could really understand if someone is very artsy and musical and very, I guess you could say airy, I guess you could say very, more that kind of personality, and you find it difficult to sit and write and to do grammar drills and really understand the writing or the written grammar, I understand why taking a class for you would be difficult, because that is a part of your brain that is not necessarily something you prefer to use, or that is the strongest part of your brain. The same way that some people really don't want to go talk to people and find it very difficult because, again, maybe they're introverted and that makes them really nervous, or maybe they have social anxiety, or who the heck knows. There's so many elements and so many factors with it. And I think it's a fascinating thing to look at. And I just wanted to talk about it in a video. And quite honestly, this is going to go in a very heady kind of direction. And this isn't going to go in a very theoretical and not necessarily very practical direction, but I want to say it anyway. It's almost like if you do personal development and you work on yourself, I think depending on the types of skills and depending on the types of things you're working on within yourself, I think that there are a good number of them that can actually benefit your language progress, right? Like if you work on your social anxiety, that's going to really help you to become a stronger speaker and be able to have conversations with people. And that's going to bleed into your ability to have conversations and be able to engage with other speakers of whatever language you are learning. If you're someone who struggles to sit down and focus and that's something you choose to work on, well, there's an argument to be made where potentially it could correlate to your ability to become a stronger writer, because you can sit down and do the focus and write long stories, write long things in whatever language. So I think there could be an argument made that there's a connection between that personal development side and the side of how strong you are in the language. But again, I don't think that's a direct correlation. I think it's a correlation that could be drawn depending on the skills you're working on and how you choose to implement that into your language learning journey. But anyway, let's wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your attention, and we will talk later. Bye for now, guys. See you.